Hello guys and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Hollie.
And this episode, which is episode 8, no.
It's not.
It's not episode 8. It's 12.
It's a Monday.
I don't know. It's a Monday. This is episode 12. We'll get professional at one point. But today we are talking about a spring clean for the mind, body, and it says spirit, but I just want to say soul. Mind, body, and soul. And this came about in inspiration from our previous podcast when we were talking about our living situation, and then we kind of got into basically what we do and like what we've been doing recently to declutter and spring clean.
Yeah, it was actually one of our followers that suggested doing a podcast about this topic, which I feel like is really fitting. And by the way, thank you so much for all the comments and the feedback about the last podcast about living alone.
Yeah.
We're really glad that it like resonated with so many of you, and a lot of you could relate and it maybe helped you in some way. So yeah, today's podcast we want to try and do another episode kind of similar along those lines, but about how to declutter for spring. And we don't just mean decluttering your wardrobe, we mean decluttering your mind,
your environment, your friends, and just so you can turn up as your best self.
Yeah. So seeing as this is a Wearing My Money podcast, we'll begin with how to declutter and give your wardrobe a spring clean. And these are some tips that we like to do. I haven't started my decluttering yet. It's one of those chores that I put off because when you start, I kind of wish I never started.
It's like picking a spot. And if you see one spot, you see another and another and another. It just goes on.
Yeah.
I actually, this weekend, I did a Vinted bag. And I've just taken loads of pictures, and then when I have an evening or I'm traveling somewhere, I'm just going to post it all on Vinted.
Yeah, that is a good way to get rid of clothes, is sell them. So you can use like Vinted or Depop. I love eBay as well.
eBay's really good. They
Yeah.
have some really lovely pre-loved things on there as well. Also, there's a new place called Node that I've been working with.
Oh, right.
And they're really good as well. They're a new upcoming second-hand place. So I'd recommend that as well. But I'm loving Vinted. I find so many good things on there.
It's really easy.
Really good.
I think it's easy to list things on Vinted. It's really quick. And then I love how the buyer buys the postage label.
Yeah.
So you literally just click download and it's done.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
So simple. So yeah, I've been doing that at the moment. I'm also as well, what I have been doing is like organising my wardrobe. So sometimes I get to a bit of a, you probably don't because you're super neat freak, but when it comes to my wardrobe, I'll have it all organised, and then slowly but surely that top is over there and the coat's over there, and usually I'll have like coats, blazers, trousers, then tops, so I can see where everything is. But at the moment it's just a bit of a kerfuffle and I don't know where everything is, so I like to reorganize. And what I've also been doing is, so for instance, I've got my new Frankie Shop trench coat in, which is a lot more, to say, like higher quality, and I gravitate it to wearing it more. I've actually now removed my old trench coats and I've put them to the side to either try on again or get ready to sell them, because they're just kind of sitting in my wardrobe because I keep gravitating towards my...
See, my wardrobe is always very organised.
Very, very
I am a little bit OCD. It's all organised in trousers, and then it will be like colour coordinated trousers. And then I'll have jeans, and the jeans will be in colour order. And then I'll have like white jeans, and then I go on to like camis, colour order. And then it will be like t-shirts, long sleeve tops.
You've got more wardrobe space than me as well.
I do.
Really, that's something that I am missing in this house is
I like to keep
storage.
it super organised, because then when I go to pick out an outfit, I'm like, okay, trouser section. Let's start with trousers. What trousers do I want to wear? Or if I'm wearing like jeans and I'm like, oh, I want a t-shirt, then I'll go to the t-shirt section, t-shirt section. And it's just it's so much easier to find
to see everything as well.
An outfit. But I think when it comes to decluttering my wardrobe, I would say start by getting rid of the clothes that you never wear. And even if you don't want to throw them away, just fold them up and put them in like a storage thing, because I am also a little bit of a hoarder. You're very good at throwing things away. I'm not so much. Yeah,
but I have to, because I haven't got that much space. So I have to be a bit savvy.
But I think you need to try and make it so that your wardrobe isn't overwhelming to build an outfit from every day. So take everything out. Start with like your capsule pieces, like your favourite pair of jeans, your favourite t-shirts, your favourite jackets. And then the rest of it kind of sift through and think, what haven't I worn in, like, what did I not wear last spring, summer? What doesn't fit me anymore? And I'm very, very guilty of this. I keep clothes that don't fit me because I think one day I'll fit back into that.
Or one day Amelia will fit into that.
That's true. But even that is like really toxic, because you're kind of like longing to have this body back that you might get it back. But
also, think you're a different age.
Yeah.
And I think we put ourselves so down thinking we're going to be the same size as we were when we were 21 or 16. And it's like, you're an adult, like a fully grown adult. Of course you're going to change.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah.
You haven't.
I think that's especially with jeans. Body shapes change so much that one day I'm like, oh, my butt doesn't fit in those jeans anymore, or like, oh, they're too big around my waist but don't fit anywhere else. And I think it's really important to constantly go through and just sift out the things that just don't fit you anymore, and don't keep them in the hope that you're gonna fit back into them, unless they're like a gorgeous designer piece and you want to keep hold of it because you just love it, or you want to pass it down to maybe like your kid one day. I would say get rid and have a proper declutter and be a little bit savage.
Yeah, I think as well, when it comes to the new season, I guess we accumulate a lot more clothes than maybe the normal person. But I still think everyone has that seasonal storage box they put away. So
definitely.
Sieve through your wardrobe and go, okay, I do want to keep these pieces. I'm not wearing them at the moment, but I definitely will wear that for autumn, winter.
Yeah.
So then I feel like that gives you an opportunity to really sift through your winter collection and go, what did I wear? What did I not wear? And then maybe that's a good way to start as well, because
such a good point actually.
I think with spring, you're like, oh, well, do I know if I'm going to wear that or not? Like, you're not too sure where your winter's past.
Yeah, so you know what you wore and what you didn't wear.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a very good point actually.
Oh, thank you.
Because normally I would just like gather up all of my winter stuff and be like, okay, forget about it. I'll deal with that next year. Whereas actually it's quite nice to then next winter go into that season with already a capsulated wardrobe, because you've already got rid of the things that you didn't wear before.
And then you can just put them on Vinted if you don't want them, and still put them in storage, but if someone wants to buy it, then perfect.
Yeah, so I'd say like start with your wardrobe when it comes to a spring clean, because you know what they always say, like tidy house, clear mind, like don't go to sleep with like a messy house.
No.
I feel like you also don't want to wake up and get dressed in a messy wardrobe, because you're already starting your day off chaotic and stressed.
I even stress going to bed, and if there's like stuff around me, which usually there's usually parcels or things like that, it stresses me out. I'm like, I can't go to sleep like this.
I think it's always nice to wake up in the morning to a clean, tidy home. I think it just starts your day right. It's like making your bed every morning.
I've still got that image of your house looking like an absolute...
Okay, sometimes it's hard.
I love to wake up to a tidy home. Opens the door and I'm like, oh my god.
No, but I usually...
It's one time.
No, but I go to bed, the flat is tidy.
Yes, yeah.
But then I wake up in the morning and it's like a tornado. I'm getting ready for the gym. I come home from the gym. I'm showering, trying to get ready. I'm filming content. And then I'm like, boom, gotta go. So everything just gets dropped and left. And then I do the re-tidy again before I go to bed. So you often see it.
Yeah.
And miss the chaos.
Miss the chaos.
Yeah.
It was funny. But yeah, I think that's a really good I think start entering spring season, and then you can decide on what you need, what is missing.
Yeah.
Do you need that pair of trousers or jeans? And yeah, I feel like it's a good way to just detox.
Yeah.
Clean slate.
And then moving on to like your home and your environment that you're living in and breathing in. I feel like this more goes into the whole like doing things for your soul as well, is decluttering the space around you.
Yes, for sure.
Because I think we all have a habit of accumulating far too many things, far too many like knickknacks and bits and bobs.
Receipts.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that drawer, she needs doing it. You have a drawer where you just shove all the receipts in, all the cards, all the all those random nooks and crannies you think you're gonna need. Get rid. Like, it just needs to go. Clean your fridge.
Yeah.
I love a fridge clean. Hoover it.
Yeah.
Just get it all sparkling. I feel like small, kind of annoying chores like that just need to be done just to make it feel refreshed.
Just to give it a bit of breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And I also love like changing things up in my home, like my throws on my sofa.
Textiles.
Yeah, like finding inexpensive ways to transition your flat from like winter into spring.
Yeah.
So yeah, like throws, cushions, get some like vases and fresh flowers. Like, you don't need to go and change your sofas and your chairs and
your
stuff
bases,
like that. Yeah.
But for definitely, I definitely have different textures for different seasons. I've got these like brown velvet, really dark brown pillows that are all stored away, and now I've got my lovely little ochre ones out, and even these are from M&S.
Yeah,
like,
they're really
they
nice.
can be
like
really
linen.
affordable, light, fresh. It just gives a bit more of a lift to your environment.
Yeah, you want to try and make a space at home where you feel happy to come home to. You want it to feel like light, bright, inspiring. And I feel like if you are living in a mess, it kind of can dictate the way your life is gonna go.
Literally. I literally, especially because with working from home, I cannot do anything if the house is messy or unorganized. Like, obviously it has the norm unorganization, but if it's messy, I cannot sit there and work because I would just be like, I need to clean that up. It's just annoying. One thing I would say actually also like cheers me up, and we do this now regularly, is buying flowers, fresh flowers, and we both get them from Waitrose. They're only £3.50. And that just that's a cup of coffee, and it makes such a difference. And it really
does. When I walk into my flat and I see my tulips on the little table,
I love tulips.
I walk in the door, I usually go straight into like the lounge area, and it's the first thing I see, and I just every time it just makes me smile.
It is lovely. I mean, behind us right now are my tulips as well, and they're literally, they're in their like peak, which is really sad because they're so pretty, but I know that the next couple of days
my petals are falling off.
Oh.
And I'm like, no.
Stay. But even as well, I would recommend also faux flowers. I know Neptune do some really lovely ones.
Yeah.
Ochre do some really lovely ones. They're a little bit more expensive, but just to fill plants and vases. I have some like red hydrangeas for like autumn, winter, and then I've got some really nice redunculars. What are they called? Redunculars?
No idea.
I'm not too sure, but they're just a bit more of a spring filler.
I also think an orchid is a really good option.
Yeah, you're looking about getting one of those, aren't you?
Which is what I want to go for now, because I hear that they're not difficult to look after. And I think they're beautiful. They last a really long time. They're not too expensive.
No, I think, well, we said Waitrose. Like, you can get them in all your superstores, can't you?
I think that's what I'm going to go for next.
I would like to have a little herb.
Oh, that would be really cute.
Yeah, on the side, I'd love to do like a little vase of just like basil,
rosemary
and mint. Like, I want to do that. I know mint takes over, so it has to have its own little spot. But I just think having that, even on my like my windowsill, just like a little herb, little station.
That would be really cute.
I love my herbs.
I think, it's just all things like that you can do for spring that just kind of firstly cheer you up, give you a nice environment to live in, and inspire you.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think if you're stuck in a little bit of a rut, start with like your home.
Yeah.
Having a declutter, changing a few things up,
Open
and you'll
the
be
windows.
surprised how like refreshing it is.
I feel like both of us have got like a proper itch at the moment just to rejig and
oh my
get
god,
things.
guys, I even went to the garden centre the other day and I bought 2 bags of soil and I am repotting all of my plants. The house flies are still an issue. I refuse to give up. That is a big task on my hands, which I'm going to save for the weekend. But that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my green fingers out.
Well, I've ordered your sticky fly things.
Oh, you did, thank you.
So you're going to give that a go first, aren't you?
I know, I'm going to do it all in one. I'm changing the soil, I'm putting the sticky fly catchers in, and fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Otherwise, it's just me and the flies. Like they're just they're my pets at this point.
Oh, bless you. Also, actually, we love a bit of sage. Sage in the house.
Yes, and Palo Santo.
Let's do a bit of a spiritual cleanse of your home.
Yes, which I do think is very good to do seasonally.
Yeah, I obviously have been inspired by you to do that as well, because one of my friends, when I did move in here, she brought me it is sage, isn't it?
There's sage and there's Palo Santo. Sage is the cleansing one.
And she got it for my new home. And here and there, on a Sunday, I've got the candles on, I'm winding down, I'll just have a little fresh week, fresh start. Like, it just makes me, I don't know if it's just the doing of it.
I think so. I think a big part of it is like taking that time to reset. And I like to do it if I'm ever feeling like overwhelmed or like overly emotional, or I just feel a little bit like so much going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll just take an evening to myself. You open all of your windows. It's really important that you open the windows and you just go around with your sage. And you ask for all the bad energy to leave your flat. And that's why you have the windows open. Get out of here! And it just is a really nice reset.
Yeah.
Really nice reset.
And it smells just like a very meditative, like, aura. Like, it's just so beautiful. And with Palo Santo, I love the smell of that one.
It's beautiful.
What's that one for?
I'm not actually sure.
It just smells good.
It smells really good. It is a spiritual thing, but to be honest, I don't actually know what it is.
We'll leave both of them. I'm sure you can get them on the Amazon or something
just,
like that.
For the good vibes.
Yeah.
I also love burning rosemary.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love a candle, they can be quite toxic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really good for you to be burning candles all the time. So if you can, try and burn natural things like Palo Santo. My rosemary, I just leave to dry. I let it dry out completely, and then I just I set it on fire.
Yeah, I've actually got some actually from
it smells so beautiful.
Ooh, very fresh in a way. I've also got these air freshener fit plugs. That makes such a difference, and you get different scents for different seasons.
Lovely.
And you commented on it the other day.
I did.
Because it's where you enter the house and it actually smells out the landing, which is quite nice.
It is really nice.
So let's talk about your social environment now.
Yeah, removing not just bad energy from your house, but also in your environment, the people that you spend time with. And I think as we get older, you're a lot more conscious of that.
I think you do learn a lot of these lessons on the way.
Yeah.
And we get a bit more tougher skin. I'm super sensitive and I'm a massive people pleaser, and I like to apparently just make friends with everybody and invite everybody into my life and become their best friends, because I guess that's a nice thing.
Yeah, it is a nice thing.
But I realise then I don't leave any room for myself.
Yeah.
And then Hollie sees it most of the time. I end up very exhausted and battery drained.
She does. Whereas I'm a lot more particular about who I have in my life. Like, I don't make friends as easily.
Yeah.
I think definitely as I've got older, I have acquaintances. I have a lot more acquaintances than I do like close friends, which I'm sure is very similar for most people. But for example, like when I was younger, I would have all people that I would go out clubbing with, and you would think that they're your friends.
What was the when we went to the restaurant the other day, you went to those nights. What are the nights called?
You know, like when you're young and you go for those like promoter dinners, and then you go to the clubs after. And that just does not do it for me.
No, I mean
all
that wouldn't
anymore.
That never did for me.
I even have things like I pick and choose when I want to have a drink now, because I would rather have a drink in an environment where I'm with my really close friends and I can really enjoy it, and I'm having a drink because I'm genuinely just having such a lovely time, rather than now like drinking around acquaintances.
Yeah, for sure. Plus it just wastes your time and energy and your mindset, because as much as we love to drink, it's also, it has a big impact on your mind, your sleep, everything. I agree. I try to, especially when it comes to events, I try not to drink at events unless it's something really special. If it's just random
then
cocktails,
we'll have a glass of champagne.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's just that kind of a random event and I can see that the alcohol is poor quality, I avoid drinking. I'd rather, this sounds so ridiculous, but I only try to drink quite expensive alcohol, because you're putting it into your body, and I'm not. I know
it affects us so much more now. I mean, I've always had horrific hangovers, but they're definitely getting worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are.
I tell you what, guys, I was out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Very proud of myself. Stuck to champagne, and no hangovers.
You felt so fine.
I felt fabulous. Oh no, we had tequila on Thursday, but we only had 2 drinks.
Just 2.
Very proud of ourselves. But I think when you surround yourselves, going on very smoothly, when you surround yourselves with like-minded people, no one's going to force you or pressure you into drinking. You're all on the same level. I think it's really it's more enjoyable. So for instance, it was myself, Hollie, our friend Emily and Tara, all on the same level. We all love a drink. We're all very social butterflies. But that night we had plans for workouts in the morning. It was, the next day was Friday, so we still enjoyed a really lovely night. But no one was going, oh, go on, have a shot, do this, do that. It was 2 margaritas, and that was it. And we all went home with the biggest smiles on our face. Like, look at us, we're not drunk, we're not hungover, and we're going to feel good in the morning, but we've still really enjoyed ourselves.
Okay, so you might be thinking, how do I go about befriending? No, defriending? When you don't want to be friends with someone anymore.
Like, just slowly removing yourself from them.
Like how to go about that, because it can be kind of harsh. You don't just want to like cut someone out. Because as much as you want to protect your energy, you don't want to hurt someone else's feelings.
No, definitely not.
But I would say, for me, I always think about, how do I feel when I've spent time with someone? How am I affected by that? How do I feel when I leave that person? Do I feel energized, or do I feel overwhelmed? Do I feel like in a negative space? Think, like, do they inspire you? When you've left them?
And I think it is hard, especially if, like, for instance, if they're a long-term friend and you used to go out all the time together and they were so fun and you loved that person then, but if they no longer serve you with who you are now and have different priorities and different direction of life and choices, I think it can obviously naturally become easier to distance yourself. But I think if there's something you want to do to feel better about yourself and you want a better life or be the better version of yourself, you do need to look at your environment and your friends for sure and go, that person was amazing for me then, But the person I want to be now and who I am now, and also our hobbies change, like drinking, like I know friends who still love to go clubbing and drink all the time, each to their own, but that no longer serves me. I'd rather go for a lovely glass of wine. And for me, I think you should never cut them out, because obviously that will hurt their feelings, but just slowly distance yourself and slowly maybe invite them to do your things that you like to do now. So instead of going out drinking, invite them for coffees and walks. So you're bringing them into a place where I guess you can still enjoy their company, but without that anxiety of, oh, I'm going out with this person tonight, I really don't want to because I'm going to drink loads and I don't feel good about myself. And
I think it is really tough doing the distancing thing, though, because I've definitely tried it with people before, and it's almost like you can be such a positive impact on their life because maybe they're not like in a great place, or they don't really know what their direction is, and maybe you're kind of in a better place than them,
inspiring them.
So you inspire them, but actually they just bring you down. And I think that's a really difficult situation to be in, because you're trying to distance yourself, but they're trying to be in your life even more so, because they feel good when they leave you, but you don't feel good when you leave them.
Exactly.
So it's like, how do you navigate that with kind of without making it really obvious?
I think, like I said, I feel like slowly but surely change the environment you meet them in. So for instance, if it was drinking, from like evening to daytime things, and even if you had that situation where you are seeing them slowly but surely, instead of a full cold turkey cut off, I think that gives you the space and them the space to realise maybe you have separated, and because if you cut them off straight away, they'll go into this panic mode of, why don't they like me, and you're then the bad person and not hanging out with them. So I think
having boundaries in place
massively,
as well, which, as you said, goes to not doing things that you don't want to do, and like not staying friends with someone just because you're trying to make them happy. For example, like a perfect example is if you're not a big drinker anymore, but this person that you're hanging around with is a big drinker, and you feel like you have to always go out and drink with them in order to still maintain that friendship, all you're doing is damaging your own energy.
You're emptying your cup.
And
then that's where you can do more day things, so you avoid going out with them. Just say you're busy, and they'll be like, oh, but I can go for coffee in the morning, or let's try that yoga place out, or invite them around for dinner. It's hard because especially you don't want to hurt their feelings. If all of a sudden you're like cutting them out, they'll be like, wait, what? Like, what have I done? Like, why is this and why is that? And you've got to be honest with them to an extent. But in the politest way, and just be like, and it doesn't have to be from a point of view of going, well, you don't serve me XYZ. It's just, you could go, well, I don't actually like going clubbing anymore, and it's just not very me, but I'd love to still see you, I still adore you, but let's go for dinner, like change it up. And
I've definitely noticed now in my 30s, I would say the last year or so, I've noticed such a big shift in my friendship circle. And I don't know if you started to notice the same with yours, but it's definitely evolving.
Oh, massively.
Because I think people are getting more serious in their relationships,
having babies
now. Babies, engagements, people want to save to buy houses, and it's been a lot, I think, to even adjust to, because you want to respect that people aren't in the same headspace as they were like 5 years ago, and so you have to kind of just evolve and move with it rather than fighting it, and maybe look at what they're doing and think, okay, maybe I should take a step back and I should be also moving in that direction.
Even from my point of view, because I feel like obviously my whole life has changed, like been flipped upside down, and I'm in a space now where I'm on my own and very independent, and I'm seeing all my friends around me get married, have kids, move to different places, get new jobs, and obviously with partners you make new friends, and you put maybe more time into those friendships because it's your partner's friendship, which is totally fine. But I feel like I've I'm really proud of myself for reflecting and looking back at it and going, that's okay. They're in their bubble. Like, they're happy. It's nothing to harm you or be spiteful towards you. But their time right now is focusing on the baby or their new relationship. They're in their honeymoon season. Like, let them do their thing because...
And don't take it to heart.
No, because I know when I meet my person, I will go through all those seasons and I know that it's just part of life and you can't be offended by them not making enough time for you anymore because of their new situations and like even like my 2 girls who've just had babies, I know they're not going to be able to do everything we used to do and have the time and the energy because their whole world is their little babies.
I think it's also the perfect time to make new friends that are in the same situation as you, so that you're not putting so much pressure on your other friends who are maybe in a different situation now, because they're probably feeling guilt.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, I used to hang out so much more with Hollie, or I used to hang out so much more with Amelia, and now like I can't.
Yeah.
And that's when it's important to like put yourself out there and go and find friends that are in the same position as you are,
100%.
that you can then continue to enjoy all of those things that you enjoy doing with your new friend.
Yeah, so you have the best of both. So for instance, I think it was beautiful that obviously we met because we were both single.
Yeah.
And then also our other friends like who we hang out with like now are single. So we were able to, as four of our friends, we all went to Bali.
Yeah.
Because we had no commitments. Or we went for New Year's and like, because we had each other where, for instance, New Year's, that's probably a great one. All our friends were in relationships and babies, so they were just doing their own little thing. And it was so nice that we could go, well,
thank God.
We
had each other. Thank God.
But that is so true. It definitely, you can still hold on to your friends. It doesn't mean you have to let them go because you're in different situations, but go and find like-minded people to fill those spaces. Yeah. And I think that's beautiful because, again, we're always changing and have different things in our life.
Which I think is super important, is to be able to adapt to life.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are really set in their ways and they don't like change. And so when things change within a friendship group or within a relationship, a lot of people just can't seem to adapt.
They panic and they think that's the end.
Yeah.
Which I completely get, but I think that's why we want to have this conversation, because we've been through so many experiences that hopefully this would just give you a helping hand, just to be like, something better is out there. Like, it's always going to be okay, and there's always going to be reasons why friendships have finished or kind of separated, or partnerships have finished, or I think you've got to really see the positive outlook on it, for sure.
I like to say you should try and flow freely through life.
Yes. And just accept that it's all going to happen. I loved that. There was a quote actually, because my friend and I, we had a bit of a... We love to rant to each other. We love to do voice notes.
Oh my God, have you seen that thing on TikTok where it's like when you have that really good bitching session with your friend and then you just
my God,
leave,
it's like therapy. We do it on voice and we're like... Da, 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 da. Anyway, see you later. There was a quote, and I think she actually found the podcast, and if I can find the podcast, I'll leave it down below. And it was all about the art of letting them. That can be looked at in so many different ways. Yeah. Let them go and do their own thing. You can't control people. And I feel like that's what's going to really build up your anxiety and anger and your emotions that you're wasting your time and energy on. Yeah. So just let them. Let them with everything in life. With work, with if you've fallen out with someone or they're being nasty to you. Just not obviously let them, but like just let them do their thing and just separate yourself. It's not your problem, out of your control. You've just got to let them.
Yeah. Flow freely through life.
Flow freely through life. Who are we? Who do we think we are?
I don't know how this podcast turned into us being like gurus.
This was supposed to be this like bougie luxe. We've just really found our hearts at the moment.
Yeah, we're really in our feelings, guys.
We're in our feelings. Maybe next week we'll bring it
back
in.
to fashion.
Yeah. because we have some shopping to do.
We do.
So with this in mind, we wanted to kind of share some maybe inspiration when it comes to things you can do to feel better about yourself and your mindset, and having a bit of a clearance and just what makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And that can be the most simplest things.
I think now the sun is shining occasionally. One of the best things to do is just get outside for fresh air, go for a walk. And that's why we are, again, very lucky to have each other, because we can just be like, what are you doing? Do you fancy some fresh air? Let's go for a little walk, go for a little
lovely,
stroll.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really lovely.
Because the sun really does make you feel so much better. If I get in a long walk in the morning or the afternoon, especially like just the sun setting or like the sun's getting lower, I think that's such a beautiful time of day to go for a little walk.
Yeah.
I always feel so much better
Much better. Even just stepping outside.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a lot to actually get out.
Yeah, especially if you live in an apartment and you haven't got the
outside space in the garden.
Apparently it's a thing as well to have your feet barefoot on the grass.
Yeah, I heard this.
So I actually did it in the summer. So in the mornings I would have my coffee outside, because obviously it's lighter in the morning, which is just, for me as an early bird, it's just stunning.
I keep waking up in a panic.
Do you?
Because I'm like,
it's like 10 o'clock.
Must be like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then I look at the time, like, oh, it's only 6.
Yeah,
or like it's 6:30.
Lovely.
Fine.
But yeah, in the summer last year, even being in this apartment, because my previous place had a garden, but I would actually go with my coffee and go to the park, and then I'd sit on the bench. I wouldn't even just stand randomly in a field, because I don't know if that would look weird, but I'd just take my little sandals off, and then I'd just put my feet on the grass.
I can imagine your little toes rummaging in the... But speaking of making new friends as well, we were actually talking about how run clubs are such a good activity to do now that the weather's nicer, and you will meet so many people. There is a women's run club that our friend told us about the other day. Can you remember what it was called?
Runners and Stunners.
Runners and Stunners.
And that stuck by me because I was like, stunning.
And it's a huge group. So they're so accessible as well, aren't they? I see so many running clubs all through like Battersea Park.
I know that there's also loads of walking if you don't like running.
Yeah, because running can be quite daunting, can't it?
And you can find them from the likes of, like, I know the Assai Girls, which is in Chelsea. They've got a place in Westbourne, Grove, Fulham and Victoria.
Yeah.
They do running clubs now.
Oh. Aloe have a running club as well.
Bryony, the Pilates instructor, she does a walking club, like Matcha and Water walking. Matcha and Water?
I thought you were saying Matcha and Water.
And walking. There's so many, and even like my friends have gone to, example, the Matcha and walking one, and she went on her own and she said she loved it because she met people who are in the same mindset and want to meet new people and like find like-minded people, and it's just so refreshing, and it's just such a lovely idea.
I can imagine us joining a run club and just me and you being at the back, just with our matches, just talking to each other.
I feel like I'm a bit of a... You will.
I would. I'd be like, here's my comfort zone.
Yeah. I'd be like, Hollie, come on. I'm a chatterbox. Like, even the other day we bumped into friends I made in a class. And I think as well, you do meet new people when you go on your own.
Yeah, you do.
It's such a... Because you have to just meet...
Yeah.
You have to talk to people.
That's what I'm saying. When I go to things with you, I often gravitate. I don't feel like... It's a very bad habit I have. No. But I'm like, oh, my person's there.
Yeah. But it's because it's how you are. Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I've been brought up in a family where my mum's a hairdresser. So she is blabbermouth 1 and I'm blabbermouth 2. And I can talk and talk and talk. So when you have your quiet moment, I'm like, hello. And I'm like, oh, wait, Amelia, rein it in. Calm down. She wants the quietness.
So I don't think you've ever done that.
No, I do. No, sometimes like when we go for walks, I'm like, oh, it's so quiet, and then I'm like, and then there's just me talking.
Yeah, she says it. I'm like, well, it was.
Yin and yang. So sometimes I do have to clock it. But no, back to the walking and the running. There are some really lovely clubs.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen some like people do workshops like pottery and
oh yeah, pottery's really cute.
Oh my goodness, that has literally just pinged in my brain. There's a one in Fulham and Northcote Road, and I actually took my friend there for her birthday, and we thought we were going to be sipping on champagne and laughing for 2 hours straight. Didn't talk to each other. We were so in like a meditative state, and we were just painting. It was so therapeutic.
That is cute.
It was so beautiful.
Also, another thing is like still having sleepovers with your girlfriends.
Love a sleepover.
I didn't think I'd be 30 years old and still having sleepovers with my girlfriends, but I do, and I love it when my friends come over and they stay around.
Cook
and
dinner.
we just have girly day, and it's just like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Especially if you live alone.
Oh, 100%.
It's really, really lovely.
Well, not only is it cost effective, but it's just relaxing. You're not having to stress about what you're wearing or how to get to A to B and how to get back from B to A, and there's so much, and I feel like when you're at home it doesn't matter. You're actually with that person and enjoying their company,
and you can cook together and bake,
or order food, watch movies, go for walks together. I feel like it's more calming and actually enjoy, like,
as long as you surround yourself with the people that lift your energy, bring a light into your life. You don't want to be drained when they leave.
No.
You want to feel inspired and happy and content.
I think it's actually a bit more of a special thing inviting someone over and cooking for them, or like buying really nice wine.
Because they're in your space, so you have to feel super comfortable with them.
I feel like it's a bit more of a precious thing. Like, I went to my friend's house who she's just moved into her new home, and she wanted to invite me around and cook dinner, introduce me to her new neighbour, and it was just such a lovely evening because we just sat and chat and we didn't have to order anything, or it was just really wholesome.
See, I love it when I have my friend Caroline come over because we're just like sisters. Like, we'll be in the bathroom together, we'll get into bed in the morning, we'll sit and we'll have our coffees together.
You do those more things together where when it's just a dinner, you have to talk to the waiter and you only have like a short time frame. And I agree, I love those kind of at-home moments.
So there you go, have a sleepover with your girlfriends, it's really cute.
Very cute. Oh yeah, so also as well, we could talk about podcasts and books. Well, more so podcasts, especially when I'm on a walk. Listen to our podcast.
You can listen to ours.
I like to listen to similar styled content, or kind of like how, like, being your best self and kind of educational podcasts like that. And you have a book.
So there's this book by Joe Dispenza. He's a scientist, and it's called Becoming Supernatural. And I found this book so interesting, and I'd really recommend it. It's all different case studies about real stories, real people, and it's mainly about your subconscious and your conscious mind and unlocking that part of your brain. But what I really took from it was they had this case study of this woman who had gone through so much trauma that by overthinking and by reliving that trauma in her mind every single day and waking up and thinking about it and just making herself so sad, she made herself so physically ill that she had all of these problems, and it was just because of her mind.
Yeah, it is mad, isn't it?
Like, for example, you know, if someone suffers from like anxiety, like, you can make your anxiety worse by being like, oh God, I feel really anxious because this and this. And if you can talk yourself out, I know it's so much easier said than done, but I think this book would really help if you suffer from anxiety, depression, or you're going through a really hard time. It really helps you change your mentality
100%
about things.
I think that's such a good point, because even when I went through cancer, I was so positive because I was like, it's fine, it's gonna be okay. And I think when you have that outlook on life, it will be okay. An example that probably everyone can relate to, you know, when you feel crap about yourself, you feel like you've put weight on, if you're gonna be just so negative about it, you're just going to end up in this funk and have this no energy and motivation because you're going to be so down. And you know, sometimes you have to be like, right, come on, Amelia, come on, just go outside for a walk, get to the gym, do this, do that, like eat out, like you then have this like positive mindset to be like, okay, I can do this. Like I feel like you have to really believe in yourself, and like we said, you said it the other day about us being rich women, and it's like if I show up as her and act like her now, I will become. And it is so true. It's like you have to show up as the person you want to be to become that person. Like
this all stemmed from Amelia seeing a Harrods bag in my hallway that contained toothpaste, which is £8 each.
£8.
And she's like, "You've bought toothpaste for £8," and I was like,
yep.
I'm just manifesting the life that I want to live in the future, and that is not caring about how much my toothpaste is.
That's so true, honey. So
it's
true.
It's also really gorgeous toothpaste. I call it different flavours. It's the Marvis one.
It was really lovely. I didn't realise they had different like flavours.
I was spoilt by it because I had some from a trip and it's run out, and I was like, I can't go back to Colgate or Oral-B now.
It's not the same.
I've got to continue living this life.
Oh my god, I love that. I have actually seen the gem one. Have you seen everyone's talking about the gem one?
I have.
I want to give that a go.
Yeah. Live the life that you desire.
And make sure you're doing it right, because we only have one life. I feel like I love our chats now because they're so, I feel like I take from them as well. I'm like, oh, that's a good lesson to learn. But it's so true, like, and that's when we thought, when it came to having that conversation about spring cleaning, it's so important, your environment, the people you surround yourself with, what you put into your body, what you put on your body, like everything makes such a difference to your day-to-day life. And it's so important to be in your best space. And I think that's really important for longevity and enjoying life.
So you can kind of chip away at it over the next couple of weeks. Start by decluttering your wardrobe, then do your home, think about your environment, who you have in your life, like Amelia said, what you're putting into your body, and just like make these little adjustments just so that you can feel the best version of yourself in the lead up to summer.
And what I would suggest, just on your phone, on your notes, or in a journal, I would say the 5-minute prompt journal book is incredible. It's literally, it says 5 minutes, it literally takes me a minute, and it's like 3 things you're grateful for, what would make today better, what have you learnt from today,
and it can be the smallest thing,
tiny.
Something I was grateful for today was walking to the gym and the sun was shining.
Gorgeous.
It doesn't have to be like a big thing. Like you don't have to be like, I'm grateful for my family every day.
The tulips I bought, or my really lovely omelette I had. Like it's just so simple, but it makes you go, oh wow, like
life isn't bad,
or you have to enjoy the simplest things. But write it down, things that you want to do. So spring clean your wardrobe, your home. Like, what would you like your morning to look like and your evening routine to look like? Who do you love to see and your friendships, and what do you want to do with your friends? And do you enjoy your work environment? Do you enjoy
basically
who you
like
live
what
with?
fills your cup, and just do more of that.
So write it down, and hopefully you can slowly but surely get through it.
And sage away, honey. Start with some sage. Actually, no, do all the decluttering first and then sage.
Yeah, that's like your final thing on a Sunday. Fresh sheets.
Yes.
Clean house. Sage away. But yeah, we're gonna end that here because we could go on and on and on. But we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Thank you for listening to your gurus.
Who are we? We're not professionals.
We're not.
Thank you so much for listening or watching.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Oh god, it goes so quick. Bye guys.
Bye guys.